Hello everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, people are joining. So, okay, let me see. Okay.
ഒന്നും പറയണ്ട, ഇന്ന് നേരത്തെ എണീച്ച് വന്നിക്കുവേ. നേരത്തെ എണീച്ചിട്ട് എന്നോട് ആടെ കിടക്ക് എടുക്ക് പഠിക്ക് മറ്റത് മറിച്ചത്. പിന്നെ ആടെ പോയിട്ട് ഇവരെണീച്ചില്ല അതിന് കുട്ടികള് ഏട്ടന്റെ അടുത്ത് പോവുകയെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് അങ്ങോട്ട് പോയി നോക്കുമ്പോ അവരുറങ്ങല്ലേ. എന്റെ എടി നിലത്ത് ടെടി വേറെ പിടിച്ചിട്ട് ആള് ഞാൻ അവിടെ മറിച്ചും പോതു. അവരെണീച്ചില്ല. അപ്പൊ പിന്നെ ഇവരെ കളിയൊക്കെ കണ്ടാൽ ഇവരെണീച്ച്.
So guys, what we discussed previously, let me see. Encoding.
Sorry.
Project assignment.
Sorry?
The project got assigned on Saturday. I got the email.
Great.
Yeah.
I think everyone got.
I am not sure about everyone. So, Ashish, there was no class on Friday, right?
No.
Okay. So, and August 8th, they have given us a cutoff date to submit the project.
So guys, like this week, I think we'll be able to complete till module 13, and maybe from module 13, there's a chance that machine learning things will be taught by some other mentors.
Okay.
So this week time we have, I'm not sure, they have to let us know.
Sure, Ashish, I'll try to complete the project by Wednesday if possible.
Yeah, okay. If you guys want, like, yeah, what is the project you got? The same YouTube?
That YouTube data visualization.
Okay.
And Ashish, I have one more doubt. Where to submit the project? Like how?
So you have to submit where you have got the mail, right? You have to reply to them.
No, Ashish, say, for example, if I write it on the ID, what I have, how do I copy that link and like, I don't know how to do all that.
I can provide a GitHub repository URL, and then you have to submit our backend code in Zen portal.
Sorry, I didn't get you. Can you repeat?
We have to submit our GitHub repository
Okay.
with the URL, and then in Zen portal we have to submit our backend code. There is a link. There is a dashboard called Capstone, right?
Yeah.
In Zen portal, yeah. If you scroll down, in that capstone, if you scroll down, there is a link on Google Forms there.
Okay.
Even just now I go through that. That's how I got to know. Maybe we can check with our coordinator.
Okay. I will do that.
You have to upload your code in GitHub and a README file in GitHub, and then share that link, just the link, GitHub link, into your capstone assigned project on Zenport.
I think, guys, Silpa is here. She is aware about this project submission and all. So maybe we can help the expertise of Silpa here. We can take.
So Ashish, so I have to create the profile in GitHub first and then do all that.
Correct. And also, I just wanted to tell you, once you have some Python code that you want to push to GitHub, here from Colab directly you can do that. Okay, let me show you. So click on this file. My screen is visible?
Yes, Ashish.
Okay. See here. Suppose this is the code. Suppose this is the code that you have written for that project, because you have to create multiple PY files. Okay, suppose you have this code, you can write here, you can delete everything else, or you can do one thing, you can explain the thing that you have done like this, what I have done in Colab. And in your GitHub repository, if you can see here, save a copy in GitHub. Okay, if we'll click here, Collaboratory is waiting for, okay, I think it is getting connected. Let me connect first. So here you directly, you can create a repository in your GitHub profile. And once you click here, save a copy in GitHub, it will ask for that particular repository to select. Once you select that, it will automatically load this file to your GitHub profile and that repository. Okay. So, see here. I think you have to log into your GitHub account before do this, and you can push the code to your GitHub. Okay, that is also one thing you can do. Okay.
So that just will paste the link in the reply mail and send. That's it.
So guys, this one we completed our that deal with missing values. What one hot encoding we have seen, right? One hot encoding. Then what?
That frequency one, like based on frequency, we allocate the value.
Okay, the last part. Okay, got it. Okay. Thank you for that. So I think only this part is left, where we'll okay. Let me recap the session for you. So we need to deal with the missing values first. Okay, once the missing values first. And one more thing, guys, I think we have two unanswered questions from our previous session, right? Which one is that? Something called inti. Okay, this one. Okay, I got it. I was doing some search and research and found that. So this is the piece of code you can do for multiple multiple fit and transform for ordinal encoding. So here what you can do, I think the error, because of we have not converting every column, and we are not dealing with every NaN values. Okay, that's why the error was coming. So once you convert every NaN values or deal with every NaN values in each column, then you can use this code and it will work for you. Okay, that means you first extract the multi-categorical columns, then you create the object using ordinal encoder, then you fit and transform this data set like this. Okay, but before that, make sure you have taken care all those missing values in multi-category columns. Okay, so that's why we are getting the error that day. And what is the next one? That integer or
we have that dot apply function and lambda function beside that.
Okay, this one. And also, this one also I found, like, I tried to make this integer and all, but it seems like lambda function is returning float value. So instead of that, you can write a custom function that will create. So like this one, we created a lambda function here, but you can create a custom function which will take one argument, and if it will check if it is cellular, it will make return 1. Okay, because in the custom function you are returning the integer. So this is nothing but you just don't need to use lambda. Instead of that, you create one custom function on your own, which will take one argument, and it will check if cellular, it will return 1, and if it is Wi-Fi, it will return 0. That is the one function you can define, and you just need to put that function here. Instead of this one, you just mention that custom function name, and in that case it will do what your integer conversion. But using lambda, I checked actually, but in lambda function is returning floating value, even if you convert this to integer also. So will that be possible for you to create a custom function which will take one argument, and if that argument will equal to cellular, then it will be returning 1. If it is Wi-Fi, it will be returning 0. Okay, and you just need to mention that function name in the apply method of the data frame. That's all. Okay, let's go to our frequency encoding. Okay, frequency encoding. Let's so here what we saw, ordinal encoding, the numberings will be there 1 2 3 like this, right? And one hot encoding, you were creating multiple dimensions by mentioning the number of category as your number of columns or dimensions, right? So this is also increasing the complexity of your data and everything. And overall, I found this one, frequency encoding, is better than this two, because it is not creating multiple dimensions. Along with it, there is no hierarchical numbering system which you are doing. So what we are doing here, let me first upload the data, or else just a minute. So frequency encoding means you will calculate the proportions of the category present inside one column. Okay, like suppose you have 3 categories, and what is the proportions? Category 1 present 30%, category 2 present 40%, like that. And once you find the proportion, that proportion you can use for encoding, so that it is not any particular number that you are going to use. Suppose you are using, suppose your 14 categories are there, right? And you used label encoding to label each category 0 to 13, right? But instead of 0 to 13, you calculate proportion of each category and then consider that proportion as the encoding value for that category. Okay, let me run this one. I have to add this, right, guys? Let me go to the top. This is the file, I think. And but make sure before you applying this encoding, you have dealt with all the NaN values first. Okay, that thing you need to do. So event type name is suppose, and yeah guys, I forgot to tell about this line. So what we not about frequency encoding, it is all about one hot encoding. So what you are doing here, concatenating, then creating the data frame, then dropping the column and all, whatever you are doing here, in pandas we have some inbuilt function to use, that is called get dummies. Okay, get dummies is nothing but whatever we did in the one hot encoding, you can do with one line. Okay, if you see here, let me show you. Now I created the data frame with pd.get dummies, and the data frame I passed, and the columns that I want to create the one hot encoded value, that is that event type name, that column name you can mention here. And once you do it, I'm just accessing. Can you tell me what I am accessing here from the data frame using iLocation? It's a quick recap on your Panda session. What I am accessing here in this piece of code?
All the rows, 10 columns.
Please rethink about that iLocation, how we are performing the iLocation, what left hand side of what, right hand side of what. Please rethink. So there is a comma, right? iLocation, location, left hand side of the column comma is what? And right hand side row value, right? So left hand side what I have given? That means what?
Up to 10.
Yeah,
0
so
to
10 rows, right? And here, instead of accessing all the columns, I am just accessing how many columns?
First 3 and last 15.
Guys, did you get how? So first 3 I have mentioned in the list plus list last. So what is this one? What this value will give you? What this value will give you? List range.
Last
Minus
14.
14 and till
This is a list of -15 to -1, right? So that means I am accessing the last 15 columns. Okay. If I'll click this, so now you can see here what we created here: add pay, card, pin change alert setting. So these categories became what? Your columns, right? One in one hot encoding. But in pandas, you can achieve with one line. Automatically this columns will be created for you. You need not to concat or something like that. Just apply get dummies to the particular column, and there will be new column will be created. If you want, you can create a new data set out of it. If you don't want to change the original data frame, so just here you can create df.new. So this df.new will be the summation of what the original data frame and this encoded data frame. Okay, it will automatically create event type, a name, add pay. You can see the column name and the category there, automatically the columns are being created. And also one great thing, like you can mention multiple columns here and it will do the same task for you for each column. Okay, so if you want to perform 100 encoding, then it would be better to perform through pandas get dummies rather than doing all this stuff. Any query here? But in the background, this is what it is happening. Okay, this is what it is happening in the background. Okay, now let's come to the frequency encoding. Now frequency encoding, if you okay, event type name is, I think it will throw you the error now because automatically in pandas it will delete. So if you see the code in the the custom code that we wrote, we have to drop this column right after encoding is done. So this thing is also taken care by pandas. Automatically it is deleting the column and creating one. So let me, I have written just a minute. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Value counts will show you what? This category, right? So the same thing we did for one hot encoding, but here we'll perform the frequency encoding. Okay. Now frequency encoding to be performed, first you need to do what? Your, why my sound is echoing? I got some chat who Hishikesh is saying, I was out of town for 2 weeks and could not attend lecture. Should you kindly give me the details about the project and how to do it? So Hishikesh, this is the project that you got through mail. That's what you are talking about, right? Or this 2 weeks classes that you didn't attend. So the classes information you will get from the Google Drive link. I hope you had that link with you. And yeah, the mail project, I think guys, the mail project, you can explore first on your own how to do it. Okay, and if possible, if time permits, I will show you how to do it actually, but not fully. Okay, I'll tell you how to do it, but you have to do it on your own. Previously I provided some codes also, but I got some feedback from the technical team not to give you the whole code or something. Instead that you I can explain to you and you can, because see, this project will increase your understanding only. If I'll provide and if you will run the code and submit, that is not beneficial. But yeah, let's see if I can explain this before in the session. Okay, let's see. So here, guys, this is the category and the counts of this. Can you see what I'm doing here? Df dot group by then dot size. What it will do? If I'll group by event type name, what it will give me?
Percentage of each of the value in the event type name. Not exactly the percentage, but the ratio.
Correct. Now group by event name. So it is a grouping the value based on this column, right? Now what will size will do? Payment. So this is nothing but same result that we are getting above, right? Value counts. So value counts also you can use, or you can use group by. Same result but different way to do it. Now length of data frame is what? What I'm accessing by dividing it to length of data frame?
Ratio.
Length of data frame is what? What should be the output of this code?
Total number of rows.
Total number of records.
Yeah, that means rows, right?
Ah.
10,969 rows we have, right?
Hmm.
So frequency you can calculate it by this one. What is the other method, other type of code you can write here? FQ
That-
new equal to what else I can write?
That column name.
Mode.
Okay, then column name, then
Divided by total size into 100.
divided by total size into 100. If I'll do this, what will happen, guys? If I'll divide this with total size, what will happen?
The ratio.
So it will divide the size with all the values, right?
No,
But
no,
here
sign,
what?
that we should give that a shape, that is shape of 0.
But before that, I have to find the counts, right?
Ah, yes, sir.
Right. So
We can
see,
find
this,
values and then
is it same? Shape this 0 and this size, that size divided by length of df. Is it same? This two code. Shall we run this? RPI is 0.00. Is it same? Can you verify?
Yes, sir.
Same, right? So the
Ah.
point is you can achieve this frequency in two ways, either grouping with the column name or value counts with the shape, or here also you can use length of data frame. Okay, the point is here why we're doing, we are finding a number for each category. Okay, we're finding a number for each category, and that number, that decimal number, instead of doing label encoding. So previously in label encoding, what is happening? It is giving one number 0, then it is to 1 2 like this, right? But here you are not giving 0 1 2 number, instead of the proportion of the frequency that you have. Okay, this is what you need to do to encode your data by calculating the frequency. But here I think this question asked by Silpa in the evening batch, right? You can see here two categories having same frequency. So what to do with in this case? If you found that same frequency is there for two category or multiple categories, what you need to do? Can you think? So Silpa, what is your answer here? I'm audible, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. I thought like I got disconnected. Okay. So guys, please try to explore this situation. So if two columns, then I think for one column you do some adjustment, because this frequency encoding is help you out in so many ways, right? It is first ignoring the hierarchical structure. Okay. Second, it is not creating any multiple dimensions. So many benefits it is doing to you, right? So you can do some adjustments, like you can change this value while doing the encoding. So after, you can consider, or you can think about it. Okay, maybe if most of your category are same category, then frequency encoding is a not good option right here. If most of your category is following in the same thing, right? But if possible, you can do some amendment on this number, and you can reassign this value to this particular category. That also you can do, right? Now once you have this data, okay, once you have this data, how to map this to your data frame? If you see here, this is the frequency distribution, and I am creating a new column called event type name frequency encoding. That means instead of this column, I am going to use this column through my training of the model. Okay, and I am just mapping this one with the frequency that I have. Now what will happen? So can you understand this line, or any query here in this line? So based on
excuse me, sir, the values are in a 0 point. We are doing encoding for the multiple values using the frequency method. Encoding means we have to give zeros and ones to the one to the value.
Okay, let me clarify that out for you. I think just a minute. See what we are doing in encoding. What we are doing, for every category we are assigning one number, whether it is zeros or ones, or creating new columns, zeros and ones, and assigning, right? That we are doing.
Yes.
So here, instead of that, what we are using, instead of that 0 and 1, we are using this frequency of that particular category. Okay. Here, so suppose
we are giving the frequency as the number to the values.
Yeah, suppose A, B, C columns are there. Here, suppose we are talking about C column. C column, there are multiple categories. So in label encoding, each category we are assigning one number.
Yes, sir.
2, 3, like that. In one hot encoding, what we are doing for each, so for number of category, we are creating number of columns, right? And for each category, we are making 1, and rest everything is 0. Like this, we are doing. Okay, this is label encoding. This is one hot encoding. In frequency encoding, for each category, we are calculating the frequency here. If you see here, the frequency, that means a number. Instead of 0 and 1, we are creating one number. Okay, and that number we are going to use as the encoded value, this fraction number.
Okay, I'm just confused. Last time also we are calculating the frequency for determining whether it is greater than or less than, like the way we have calculating this. So that I'm just confusing.
Okay, I got your confusion. So see, that time we are doing the proportion of each column.
Yes.
Okay, each column. Here inside one column, we are calculating each category fraction.
Yeah. Now I got it, sir.
Okay. And once we did that, you can map that frequency data to the event type name, and you can create a new. Let me show you. Let's see. So here you can see I created and I dropped that original column. This is the first 3 column and the last column. And if you see here in the last column, every category, for every category, we have a what? A number. Now, what is my frequency here? Suppose, let me run it. Event type name is deleted. Okay. Just 1 second, guys. Oh no. Okay. Just 1 second. Okay, so I created this again. So if you see, so why am I doing this? I just wanted to show you, suppose this is your frequency data you got, okay? Now tell me, if this is my data, you can, if something is similar, then you can change one of the data. And how to change that? Here. Can we make this as a list? Guys, can we make this as a list? Will it work? Can you see here? So do one thing, mapping with this. If you find two values are similar, you can change that here, right? And you can save that again. Isn't it, guys?
With the indexing you're saying, right?
So suppose you found two categorical frequencies same, like this one. So you just don't take all the decimal, just first 4 decimal. And this one you can change to 0.10018, so that it will be, if you found small number of categories are identical in frequency. If larger numbers are there, then I think frequency encoding is not a great idea here, right? But if you find like 1 or 2 categories are similar, then you can change this value and then you can map. Okay, and if you see here, once you started mapping this one, the respective values are now, the respective frequency values are now the encoded value. So basically what we need to do, we need to just convert this category into some numbers so that machine will understand. And here we are doing the frequency encoding to convert it. Okay, guys. So this is all about your deal with missing values. And today we are going to see
Sir, one
outlier.
question. So if the data is really large, like to check if 2 values or 3 values are similar, it will be difficult, right, to identify.
So in that case, you think what you can do, right? So how to find identical values in a, there is a method called count method. So in that case, I think, suppose this is my list. I'm not sure. Let me check. So here, if this is my list and I want to find out a specific. So first of all, tell me, if I want to remove this duplicate values, what I need to do?
Set of this list.
Set of this. So that part, one thing you can consider, you can see how many columns. So Diksha, your question is like multiple categories are the same frequency, right? How to find if your data set is large. Is that your question?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Yes. So, so basically for one column, we are doing this, right? Not for all the columns. Because for one column, we are creating the frequency and then we are mapping. So if your category in one column, your categories are large, okay, then you can find how many such categories are present. Now, suppose here, I'm not sure whether it will work or not. If I'll say count 5, is it like work, guys? Yeah, count 5. That means suppose you want to find out that, like, suppose you have 100 categories and you can't identify manually if those are, what, repeated or not. So what you can use, list, or you make a list and use the count and iterate over each element and find the count, right? So what you can do, for I in list, right?
We can have
If
a list comprehension. If count is greater than 1, then only add those elements in that comprehended list.
greater than 1,
I.
print I, right? So this will print all the duplicate, like you can see here, okay, 1555, right? Like this, something we can think of, okay? Like I'm thinking right now, or you can think also in a better way, okay? Yeah, that is up to you. So here you can find like 1 and 5 categories are reoccurring, right? So in that case, you can deal with that, right? Or you can do one thing, you can change this value. If you will found this count is greater than 1, change this value to something else, add some decimal, new decimal or something like that. You can rethink, okay? I hope you'll get that, not a problem.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So now tell me, what is outlier, guys? We have already discussed this one quickly so that we can move. And what is the impact of outlier? We already discussed these things previously.
Yeah, any data which is very far away from the regular pattern which is observed in the data streams, then
Okay.
those are outlier points. For example, if there are marks of students and it is in the range of 1 to 100, but due to some data error or I store the marks as say 400. So that is very far from the range. So that 400 marks becomes an outlier and disturbs the mean of the data.
Right. So guys, did you get that? What is out, like, which is like out of your regular data, out of the range of your regular data. So in so many ways you can identify outlier. It is good practice to implement all those methods and decide whether something is outlier or not. Okay, but what a data we are using, there is not that much outlier. It's already pre-processed data provided by the company, so I'm not going to use that particular data. Instead of, we'll create our custom data, and we'll knowingly we'll add some outlier and we'll try to find out through different methods. And then we are going to perform this in your that iris data set, just for you, because the iris data set is a very small data set, but I thought to show you some real example. Maybe that will be helpful once you are doing your own project. Okay. And outlier detection correction in machine learning refers to identify and handling unusual or unexpected observations in a data set. These observations, also known as outlier, can have a negative impact on the performance of a machine learning model if they are not dealt with appropriately. Okay. Any question to understand outlier?
Ashish, can you please brush this up once, because like I can see that
Okay.
like outlier which will change the output unwantedly. So can you please
So
give a more
let's
insight
stick
about it?
to the
Yeah.
example which given by Silpa here. Suppose you have 5 students. Okay, consider 5 students. Each student is having 1 to 10 marks, right? So 5 students. Suppose each of them is having 5 marks. So what is the mean value, mean mark of these 5 students? So 5 students, each of them scored 5 marks. What is the mean value here?
Okay.
5.
5.
Yeah.
Agree? Right.
Yeah.
Now suppose from that 5 students, large students, mistakenly someone wrote out of 1 to 10, someone mistakenly wrote 50, because the marks is from 1 to 10, but mistakenly someone written 50 for the last student. What is the mean value now?
And now the mean value will go up, like, it was too
More
far, so that the
than
mean value will be changed to 50. Yeah.
So this is how outlier will impact your data set. Okay, even if you want single outlier can drastically change your analysis. Okay, that means that 50 value is the outlier. Why? Because you can see every other scores is around 1 to 10, but we got some number which is 50. Not 50 is the outlier. Now you got some understanding?
Yeah, now I can see. So outlier, which will always change the data drastically, so that our output will also get affected if it is not dealt good way.
Yeah, because see,
Okay.
because once we have data, we are seeing the distribution, which type of distribution is following, what is the mean, what is the standard deviations. If we have some unusual number like this with a huge value, our precision about mean standard deviation will drastically change, right? And
True.
our analysis will. So suppose you are, analyzing one product information for product you launch to the market, you are analyzing the age factor there, how this product is impacting the different age people, right? So suppose you found someone by mistakenly written someone's age as 100. Okay, so in that case the average age you will find much larger. So in
True.
that case, to the business you can't say, okay, your product is being used by average age of 65. That is a wrong precision, right? Because of that single outlier, your analysis is impacted now. So that's why outlier detection, then you're dealing with missing values, encoding your data. These are the pre-processing steps you need to follow for every data that you are doing or you are doing your project for. Okay, now how to detect the outlier? There are three basic ways, and as I said to you, it is better to apply these three things and make sure you are identifying the correct outlier. Okay, what is the detection methods? Visualization, using the visualizations. I told you once we are doing the box plot, scatter plot, and those things. These are called what? Your univariate analysis, bivariate analysis. So doing that part also, during that part also, you can identify the outliers from the visualization or the plots. Okay, that is the visualization. See, we'll see with, okay, we'll create one custom data set for our own. Knowingly, we'll add 2-3 outliers there. Then we'll follow all these, methods to see. Okay, so first is visualization. Second is called a Z score. Now this Z score is very similar to your normalization and standardization concept. Okay, in statistics, we'll see. Okay, we have the libraries to calculate the Z score for us. We need not to worry about that. Okay, then third thing is IQR, interquartile range. This is also one method in statistics where without seeing the plot or without having the this Z score, you can find the interquartile range and the mean and max value, which is beyond this mean and max value of this IQR range, that is going to be considered as your outlier. Let's see it. Okay, let's see with example. So first, visualization using box plot and scatter plot. Okay, so let's create our data first. See guys, how I'm doing. I hope I need not to explain these two line of code, seed and the random number, right? Here, how many, just tell me how many rows or like rows I am generating here with this line. 2010 means what? Random dot rand n.
20 values with a interval of 10.
Okay.
20 rows and 10 columns.
20 rows and 10 columns. So better to show you the code rather than asking, right? Let's see. Okay. How many rows? How many columns? 20 rows, 10 columns. Okay. And I am giving this column names as column 1 to column 10. Can you see how I have given this? And creating a data frame. This is making sense to you, right? Okay. And here I am adding 3 outliers. How did I add 3 outliers? So if you see my data here, can you see the ranges of number we have here from 1 to -1?
-1.
Right.
2
This
also
is the
there.
range. 2 also there, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So minus 2 to 2, I think. Very
Yeah.
few will be there because I think we are taking this from normal distribution. So minus 2 to 2. Now, can you see? I am adding, which is far more than 2. Like this is one row. I am adding these values to each column. So how many values I am adding? 10 values. So knowingly I am doing this so that you will see. Okay, let me show you the data frame so that you can understand what we are doing here. Okay, so see 20, 21, 22. This we add, this we generated. Can you see these are significantly larger than every column's data? 11, 18, 19. So more than 2. Okay, more than 2. So knowingly I added this so that, so now this is my data. Okay, this is my data. Let's try to use these techniques that we discussed just now, visualization and box plot and all this stuff. Let's try on this data set. Okay, now first I want to find out on a particular column called column 4. Let's plot the box plot here. So tell me guys, this box plot creation is known to you, right? SNS, I'm using C1, okay, C1's box plot. And in the x-axis, I'm passing the column where I'm trying to find out the outlier. Which column? The column 4-1. Now this is the graph. Now can you see what happened? In the box plot, the 3 points we added, it is like far, away from the box plot. Okay, now in this way you can find your outliers here. So this is one outlier, this is one outlier. So suppose you don't, so this data we created, that's why it is making sense to us. Suppose you got one data set, okay, and you are doing the univariate analysis on each column, right? That's why we do univariate analysis. So in this univariate analysis, you can find the distribution of your data. Along with this, you can also spot the outliers, which is far away from your distribution. Agree? So here, if I want to find the index of this, how to find the index? So suppose you plot this data of one column's data and you found that these 3 points are the outliers. Forget about that, we created this data. Okay, you forgot it. Now, how to identify these points from your data set? This is the code where you will get the index number of these points. What is the code? NumPy, using a where clause. NumPy where data frames column 4's data is greater than 10. Why I mentioned greater than 10? Because this point is greater than at 10, right? Greater than 10. Then this point will be, what is this symbol? This pipe symbol?
Or
Okay, or. So we are saying find the index number where column 4 from my data frame is greater than 10 or less than -10. Because you can see here, this is 1 point and these twos are behind -10. So if I'll run this code, what I'll get? I'll get the index numbers. So the point what I'm saying to you, you see the plot, you identify this, you try to find, okay, this is the outlier because it's far away, and you get the index number. And if you decided to delete these indexes, you can delete through this index number, right? Or you can verify in your data set. Like how you can verify? With index number, with LOC, right? Okay, so we are talking about this one. So in that column, these threes are the outliers, 11, -11 and -19, which is nothing but these 3 points in your box plot. Now I perform this in column 4. You can do this with other columns, right? Any query here? Easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is all about your box plot. This is how you can use box plot. Now let's use scatter plot to do this. In scatter plot, what is scatter plot? Univariate, bivariate, or trivariate? Which one of from this one? Scatter plot is univariate or bivariate?
This one is bivariate.
Why guys it is bivariate?
We need two variables to.
Yeah, because two
Nice,
components.
nice, right. Great, guys. So that's why we are using what? Column 3. So in Iris data set, if you recollect what were like sepal length and petal length we are using, right? Similar kind of stuff. So do bivariate analysis on whole data set of yours and see. Let's see with this one. Okay, scatter plot. Now the same data set, right? Okay, same column I'm using, because so that it will be easier for you to understand. Same column. Now here, how this looks looking like? This part is here, is far away from your data set. This part is here, this part is here. Now, if you are using a scatter plot to identify the your outlier, what you need to do? What is the condition you need to write? Can you please see here why I have written column? Yeah. Can you see how to access this point? How to access this point from your plot? I can say when column 4 is greater than 9 or 8. If I say column 4 value, I am talking about this point. How I can access this point? By saying which is in column 4 greater than 8. I can reach to this point. Similarly, how can reach to this point using column 4? Less than -10.
Greater than 10 minus 10. Yeah, sorry, less than. Okay.
Greater than or less than? I am also less than, right, guys? Because my like it is smaller. -10 is larger. -11 is even more smaller. -12 is even more smaller. That means what? Less than, right? Less than -10, I will reach out to. So if I'll make less than -10, I will reach out to this point both simultaneously, right? So this is what I have written here. If you see here, through column 3, I am identifying these points. Through column 4 also, I am identifying these points. See here, greater than 10 and less than -10. So these points. Okay. If you want to access through column 3 also, you can do, right? Column 3 greater than 8. Greater than 8 means this part. Greater than 8 means this one, right? And column 3, this is less than -6 or 7, whatever you can take. Here I think 7 -7. So if you'll do that with OR condition, you will get this again, these 3 indexes, right? So now you find the indices, you know what you need to do as per your domain expertise, whether you are going to delete it or you want to verify with your subject matter expert whether these are really outliers or this is something that we have already seen, because these decisions need to come from where? Someone who knows your data. So suppose you identified as a data scientist, okay, this is far away, but maybe this is not outlier. That depends on someone experience who is dealing with the data. They can say, yeah, this is something mistake we done, or they can say, 2 or 3 months in interval this kind of data comes. So in that case, that is not an outlier, right? Outliers means something is totally different you are seeing for the first time. So again, these decisions which are outliers and all, again, so that means as a data scientist, you identify this, you pass this to your respective team to validate whether these are really outliers or if we can delete it if it is outlier or not. Okay, guys. So this is how you need to identify through visualization. What is the next method we have? Z-score. This value or score helps to understand that how far is the data point from the mean. Guys, have you heard this kind of sentence previously? And where?
Statistics.
Yes, in statistics, which parameter also we are seeing as we are
Standard deviation.
correct. All right. So standard deviation, if you recollect, this kind of thing was there. But here also, guys, if you see this formula, we have already seen this formula before. Where?
X minus X bar divided by
Standard deviation. Which formula it was?
Standard error.
Standardization. Standardization and normalization. Two things I told you, right? We discussed, right? This one, normalization, standardization. We have seen the formulas as well. In normalization, what we are doing?
standard normalization.
So normalization, what is the normal? Quick recap, guys. It will be beneficial. Quick recap. So what we are doing in normalization? Xi minus X mean divided by X max divided by X mean. This is what? Normalization. And I have told you also how to remember this is normalization because of this MA, max mean. That's why it's max mean. Some people also tell about this max means something they told. So normalization means this one. Standardization means xi minus mu divided by sigma. So this same thing we are doing, right? So we were calculating each points we are doing subtracting with mean and dividing with standardization. What is this?
Standard deviation.
Standard deviation.
Okay.
Right. Okay, standard deviations. So after doing this task, we are getting one score for each entry in my column, right? So that is your Z score. Okay, so this is nothing new here. This is your Z score. Now we have, because this is a mathematical calculation we're doing, right? And we have libraries to do this for us. We need not to do it manually every time. So what we're going to do, you can see here, I'm taking help of one library called SciPy, right? SciPy starts. We have already seen this library previously, right? And using NumPy, I am just calculating this, calling starts.zscore method. So inside this method, I am passing the respective column. Now what will it will do? What formula we have written here? Same thing it will perform row wise. We need not to calculate that. It will do this task for us. Okay. And you can print the Z score after performing that. Okay. Can you see what is happening? So that means, can you see anything unusual in this here? The Z score for the last three, which is a known outlier to us, is higher. Okay, guys. So here, this one also, the Z score also, it will come from the domain expert. The domain expert need to tell you what is the Z score after which you will calculate everything as the outlier. But looking at this, I can say which is more than 0. Or 1, right? 1. So here, if you see here, suppose we decided as per our domain expert said, which is beyond the Z score beyond 1 is going to be considered as the outlier. So how to find that? NP, where Z greater than 1, what it will give you?
The non-outlier data set.
Okay, the indices of, that means 20th index, 21 index, 22 index, these values Z score for column 4 is greater than 1. So in this way also you can find the what outlier using Z score. Okay, but
Actually,
Python,
not
yeah.
the Z score always be like greater than 1 will be outliers, but then it depends upon the data behavior that whether we consider them as outliers or not. But
That's what I
remains 1.
no, that's what I said. This 1 is coming, it should come from someone familiar or experience in your, handling this data, like the domain expert, which is the threshold of Z value after which you are going to consider everything as outlier.
Like when we do box plot, we like we get a box, we get interquartile ranges, min max values, and anything outside that, it's a outlier. Now, after visualizing and discussing with the SMEs, we can say whether they actually are the outliers or this is an expected behavior, right?
Correct.
But
Right.
for Z value also, anything which will be when every time Z greater than 1 will always be an outlier. Now it depends upon the SMEs or discussion with them whether they actually are the outliers or not. But
Correct.
Z greater than 1 will always be the same condition. Because if we speak logically, the formula, the points which are not which are more very far away from the mean, the outliers.
Okay, so are you telling like why we have used 1 here? That's what you're saying, right?
No, I'm saying, like you said, that Z can be 1, 2, 3, whatever, depending upon we have depending upon the domain experts, and we can take from them. But
No, not Z. Z score threshold. These all are Z, right?
yeah,
These
Z
all-
score threshold, like this value 1.
Threshold of Z.
Yeah. So every time this threshold will be 1 only. Now, depending upon whether the maybe 2.305 Z score we expect, even though it is an outlier, but it is an expected behavior of the data. So my
Correct.
threshold here remains 1 only. I'm not changing my threshold in this case.
No. We are not setting in. So that's why we need the discussion, right? That's why we need to have a discussion, and we have to follow all these things, visualization and Z score approach also, to verify whether same thing we are getting again and again.
So if, for example, if I get the same thing again and again, maybe, then next time when I analyze the data, then my threshold for Z, I'll have to reset it to some value other, like I'll have to reset the value of Z so that I can include this, so for example, 2.3 also inside my accepted data and not consider that as an outlier. So maybe I change the threshold of Z to value other than 1. Is it correct?
Yeah, you can do that. But again, that confirmation need to come from the SME, right? So without SME's confirmation, we can't decide whether this is an outlier or not, or this is an outlier or not. So that discussion need to be happen with SME, right?
And moreover, Ashish, like this threshold value will be set by the business analyst, and it will be a dynamic thing. It will be like differing from scenario to scenario.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So Silpa, are we like are you clear what you're saying, or maybe I'm difficult to understand what you're saying?
No. I am clear, like what you are telling, that is that value can be anything, like the threshold value can change. Threshold
It will change.
1. My point is, like we have scores like R2 score, R score, coefficients. So those thresholds remain same. Anything outside that threshold values are unexpected behavior. Now that unexpected behavior is acceptable or not, that is the second question.
Okay.
But for that, acceptance or non-acceptance, I do not change my threshold. That I mark it as anomalies in my data set.
Yeah. So here what we are marking as anomalies? Tell me, which 3 points? This one, right?
20, 21, and 22. Yes.
Okay, we marked it as anomalies. Then what the next we need to do?
Like if I have to write, like if I have to do an EDA, I can say that these 3 rows are the anomalies, these are the outliers. But looking at the past data, these are accepted and they are to be considered in future also. But for that, I am not changing my Z score value. Like I am not changing my Z threshold value.
Now suppose suppose after you found out this, you discussed with the team and you found like previously they have seen point Z score till 2. Till 2 they have seen. Okay, now what should be the threshold I have to set here? 2. So suppose after discussing you found already they have seen points with Z score equal to 2, not more than 2, but nearly equal to 2. Then in this case, what is the threshold you are going to set to find the outlier?
As per what you were explaining, it should be 2. But what I feel it should be 1. Like, see, in box plot visualization also, right? We are not changing any values, right? We are not changing anything. It's just the visualization we are doing on the data set, and depending upon the visualization, we are saying that these are outliers. Now they are acceptable or not. That is the second thing. We are not modifying any of our range values to accommodate those outliers.
Oh, okay. So you are comparing this visualization with Z-score approach.
Yeah, because all these approaches, ultimately, we are achieving the same, right? Our ultimate motive is the same thing, to identify the outliers.
So, okay, but Silpa, I think I got, see, whatever we are doing, if you, okay, let me complete these 3 procedures, you will understand the same thing we are doing in the same 3 procedures. Here in the box plot, is it not like it is the, distance between this point and the mean value? Is it not the same thing?
Yes, it is.
Here also we are doing the same, right? By doing...
But it is the distance, okay. But now when you say, if you are observing the same things in your data again and again, are you changing your box size or the box threshold values, the IQR of the box or the min max values of the box plot to accommodate these outliers? No.
No.
You're not changing, correct? You are just having it as it is. Now, depending upon whether it is acceptable or not, you delete or you keep the data within your data set.
Okay.
You are not changing the thresholds.
Correct. But see here we, after we discussed with the domain expert, we decided that okay, this right hand side data we have already seen, right? So in that case, what we are going to consider, these 2 as the outlier?
Yes.
So that discussion we are doing, whether you are changing the range or selecting which is greater than 1 or 2. Same thing. So here in visualizations, my domain expert says right hand side data we already seen. That means what range we are seeing? Column 4 where value is less than 10. That is the threshold for me here. Here in this case, I'll remove this part. Only I'll keep column 4 less than equal to -10. I'm not doing the same thing with a Z score as well.
You're not deleting that data, you are keeping that. Okay.
So deletion and all, that is the latter stage. Once you confirm this is outlier on your team or domain expert said, okay, go for deletions. This is really affecting our analysis, delete it. Then you go for deletions. But to select that point as an outlier, that discussion we are having here, right?
Okay.
But yeah, overall good thing that you highlighted, right? But internally in the back end, we are doing the same analysis. One way is to visualize, one way is to calculate without visualizing, calculating the Z score. Okay, and let's see another method. Okay, another method you will understand that we are doing the same thing. IQR. Okay,
so, Ashish, one second.
Ashish.
Ashish, even if we alter the range, there would still be some outliers, right? So like, see what we do is like, whatever the task we are given, we'll do that and we'll give it to the business analyst. So he will do his analysis and he will come back to us. And then he will say like, okay, increase the range and include these the so-called outliers into your range. And now do your fresh analysis. And then what is the outcome? That's how the business goes, right?
Correct. Yeah, right. You're saying right, that only we discussed, right? So depends on the confirmation from your team or the SME to consider these are the outlets or not. So tell me guys, in this box plot also, what is this box define? This blue box?
IQR, interquartile range.
Interquartile range. What do we mean by interquartile range?
P minus Q.
5 percentile to 75 percentile of the data lies within this box.
75 to 25% percentile. So guys, tell me about percentile. What do we mean by percentile? Why we're not considering percentage here? Why a percentile? Percentile? What is the difference between percentage and percentile? Okay.
We are comparing the data points with like the data points within that data set with themselves rather than any fixed value. We are not comparing each data point to some fixed value, but within themselves.
Right. Okay. Let me try to explain you the percentile concept here. Google will tell you, can you understand each of the 100 equal groups into which a population can be divided according to the distribution of values of a particular variable? I think this will confuse you. I know. Okay.
Sir,
Let's
just
see.
one thing before coming here, like, can you please go back to the code where you were showing it? There, can you please scroll down?
Scatter plot or which one you are referring? Which
Yeah,
code?
scatter plot, like after this one. Like,
After this one. Okay.
yeah.
Z score.
Yeah, Z score. Yes. What is this np.ab? What is this ABS?
Oh, okay. This is absolute.
Okay.
Absolute means
It's a method in NumPy.
What is ABS? What? Okay. So
It will give the negative into a positive.
Yeah. So Dinesh always pick the layman terms details. That is a good thing. Okay. So what is means by this absolute minus 5 means what? What is the absolute value? Okay, we're not considering the negative direction value, the absolute value of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, see which one will be easier here. Here. Okay, right. We got the right one. See, guys, how the percentile is getting calculated from this data set. It is the marks of how many people? 20 people. Okay. First person scored 2, second person also scored 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, 10. Now, how the percentile is getting calculated? Can you see the formula? Is it visible to you guys? Can you read this?
Yeah. This is visible.
Just maximize.
Percentile. Yeah.
Sorry?
Maximize the image.
Oh, okay. Let me do it. I'm not sure whether it will give me the image only or it will lead us to the site where it is hosted. I'm not sure which site it is. Okay. Now here, see how the percentile, what is the percentile ranking of number 10? How it is getting calculated? Number of values below that point we are calculating. So here 2 to 9, 16 values which is under 10. That means we are sorting these values, right? From increasing order. And 16 values are below this 10 position. So that means it is all about the game of positions, right? Positions in your data set. So values of 10 below 16s are there. Total number of values are 20. So it is 80 percentile. Rank of 10 is 80%. What does that mean? That means 80% of people are below these positions and 20% of people are above these positions.
So how this 10 was getting calculated? Like why we were taking 10 here? Like we can take the another numbers or also, right?
Yeah. So
why we were
we are
taking the
calculating
16th?
at this this position's percentile rank we're calculating. If you want to calculate any other number, you can go to that number.
Okay,
Suppose,
so I can calculate on the first like the first data, or else the third data, or else the 20th data also.
correct.
Like
So what is
20th
the
data will don't give a good percentile for me, because that will lead me into 0. So 19, 18 I can calculate.
I think you got it, reverse. Okay, so 20th data means what you are saying, 12th score, right?
Yeah, 12th score.
Percentile rank of the person who scored 12, right?
Yeah.
So if you see percentile rank of who scored 12, what is, according to this formula, how to calculate the percentile? The people below to that rank or
Yeah.
that position. How many people are there?
Yeah.
19.
If 19 people.
19
Okay.
divided by 20 into 100.
Into
That is
100.
the
Okay. Okay.
percentile rank of the person who scored 12 mark.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
basically it is the information about your ranking inside your data set. Okay, at which position it is there, and how many people or how many points are below to it, how many points are above to it. If we are talking about 80 percentile, that means what? 80% of people are below to that particular position, and 20% is above to that particular positions. So this is called your percentile concept. Okay, now come to IQR. IQR, see guys, IQR is quartile 3, that means 75 percentile minus 25 percentile, right? Quartile 3 is 75 percentile. IQR measures the spread of a data set, which we have already seen our box plot, right? That box is nothing but what? Your IQR, the spread of your data set. It is calculated by taking the difference between the 75th percentile and the 25th percentile of the data set. In other words, it represents the range of values that fall between the upper and lower quartiles. To find outliers using IQR, we use the following steps. Calculate the first quartile and third quartile. Calculate the interquartile range IQR by subtracting Q1 from Q3. That is your IQR got calculated. Determine the lower and upper bounds of the data set by multiplying the IQR by 1.5 and adding or subtracting this value from Q1 and Q3. Okay, let's see with example. So first what it says, calculate the Q1. Q1 is what? First quartile, that means 25th percentile. Using NumPy, you can calculate the percentiles also quickly. Okay, NumPy percentile function. Inside the percentile function, where you want to apply, this is your data, and which percentile? 25th percentile. So this is your Q1 value. Q3 value, same, but here the point is 75 you are going to use. Okay, these 2 points covered. Third point is determine IQR by subtracting Q3 minus Q1. IQR, sorry, this is the second point, IQR. Can you see how I achieved it? Q3 minus Q1. Let's print the column 4 value. We found Q1 is this, Q3 is this, okay, and IQR is this. Now, according to the point here, determine the lower and upper bounds of the data set by multiplying the IQR by 1.5. And why we're doing this? If you see here, Q3 plus 1.5 times of IQR, Q1 minus 1.5 times of IQR. This is my range. This is my range. Okay, Q3 plus 1.5 times of IQR. And why we're doing with 1.5? Because this is, this is how in statistics they calculate the outliers. Okay, 1.5 gives it is the easier calculation. That means it is not too high and too low. If this range will tell me if this 1.5 will be 5.5, what will be the consequence? If I make this 1.5 to 5.5, what will be the consequence? Your range will increase or decrease?
Increase, sure.
Increase. If my
Yeah.
range will increase, then what is the chance here? What is the drawback here? If I'll increase the range, then what is the drawback? Maybe the outlier also I'll consider. The
Will
real outlier
increase.
also will consider as a normal point, right? Now suppose this 1.5 you make 0.1, what will happen?
Now,
Your
the
range,
original data will also be considered as outlier due to this low.
correct, correct. Even if those were not outlier, you are going to consider. That's why doing some search and research, they have identified 1.5 is the best choice here. Neither it will consider the maximum range, nor it will consider the smaller range. 1.5 is the perfect range to calculate. Okay, guys. So here, upper and lower, what this will do? We are setting the upper limit. And now, and this guys, okay, this thing, if you can see upper, it is coming as 20 in this with guys, am I audible?
Yeah, you are, Ashish.
Yeah, okay, okay. So this is nothing but guys, in the box plot, this is what we are doing. Okay, in the box plot, if you see here, these two lines are the range. That is the upper and lower range. And this is IQR. Okay, this is IQR. And this right hand side is what? IQR plus Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR. Quarter 3 means what? This one. This is Q3. This side. This is Q1.
Yes.
Right, guys? Okay. Q3. Okay, let me use
and the middle line in the box plot is the mean, right?
Correct, correct. This is Q3, this is Q1. Okay, this is IQR, isn't it? Q3 minus Q1 is the box length is the IQR, and this value is what? Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR, and this value is Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. So basically, if you think, we are doing the same thing. One way is to visualize and see it. One way without visualization, using statistical method to identify it. So clear, right, guys? Here, you understood, right? So which is falling apart or beyond this range, that we are going to calculate as what? Outlier. Okay. NP where upper. NP where upper means only 20th index. That means this point, the right hand side. Okay. And suppose after discussing with your domain expert, you decided to delete it. How to delete it? See, df dot drop numpy where upper. That means this will give me what? np dot where upper will give me what? The index information.
Yeah.
But here the type is a bit, what is the type of this? How to know? Quickly, you can type here and you can verify. Tuple. So how to access the index number from the tuple? Through indexing. So that's why I have given 2 zeros here. If you will give 1 0 here, what will happen? This one. Now this is an array. This is not the index. So to drop something, you need the index number, right? That's why we are doing all these things. Because this is giving me a tuple of array. So by accessing the first element, you accessing the array. Then again, you accessing 0. It will give me what? 20. So that's why I've written here to drop this indexes. Df dot drop, then np where upper, then this 2. You understood, right? And why I have written this one? In place equal to true. I have seen this already.
Data frame.
Sorry?
The data
So
frame we are
stores
using.
in that original data frame.
Correct. So that we can, save this in our original data frame. Okay. So this is how you can drop after finding the index number. Let's try to, I'm not sure where it will work, it will make sense for the iris dataset, but because iris dataset there is not much outliers, but let's try to implement this in this dataset so that it will be quick recap what we just learned. Okay. And also iris dataset is very small dataset, only containing 150 rows, right? So when we have 150 rows, that there is also chance that you will not get the outlier correctly. So, but let's try to see this. Let me try first load the data set. Iris, I think you know this, right? You need not to explain. C1 load data set. Okay, this is the data set. Okay, and also guys, I have provided you one EDA file, right? Of performing EDA on Iris data set. So that also you can refer to find out all these things. So here, what we did, we are creating the box plot of petal length. That means which column? Sepal length, petal length, third column, right? Third column, we are doing this box plot calculation. Now, if you'll see here, in the x-axis, I mentioned the species like Setosa, versicolor, virginica, right? And in the y-axis, I created petal length. Here, can you see which points can be considered as an outlier? This point, but these points are really outlier or not, that someone from the uh, expert who knows the data of these flowers, they need to confirm, because if you immediately will see, okay, this is outside of this box, this is outlier, let's delete it. But that is not the case. You are suspecting these data are the outlier based on the data that you have. You are suspecting it. So we can see in versicolor and Setosa, we have 1 to 4 points where the data is outside of the range. Okay. Now, what is this one? Petal scatter plot. Scatter plot. Petal length and sepal length. Bivariate analysis. Here, which point you can consider? Guys, which point you can suspect as outliers? This one for sure, right?
Yeah.
Can suspect. Which other points? Any other points that you can see unusual pattern? These two, maybe. So again, so like this, you have to identify the outliers from your analysis. Okay, so this is the scatter plot one. How to do with the other method? Let me verify. Today time is going so fast. It's 10:30 today. Great. Okay. Petal length we are seeing, right? Using Z score. So, okay, guys. First, let's see what is the minimum and maximum value using Z score. So minimum value of Z is 1.7. Maximum value is 1.7. Minimum value is 0.02, right? And this is the Z values. Now, which ones should we consider as the threshold? Anything, right? Like this we need to discuss, right? So here, by looking into it, I'm seeing how many points of petal length is more than 1.6 or 1.5. How many points are 1.5? Let me comment out these 3 lines. Okay, so index number 13, 22, these are suspected values where the petal length value is greater than 1.5. And we are from the graph also.
So in here, the 1.5 has been determined by us. Like if when it comes to the business, the business analyst URLs, the SMEs will take a look at it, right?
Correct.
I mean,
Correct.
they'll
Correct.
decide it. Okay.
Yeah, the threshold of this. And how I decided in this session, I just printed out all the maximum and minimum value, and nearer to that I have taken.
1.7. Okay.
Yeah, so 1.7 is the maximum value, so 1.6 or 1.5 I'm taking. So if suppose for the first time you are doing, you can do like this and you can pass this indexes. So I want to see the data with these indexes. So you can also see, and you can send for your technical team or business domain expert that during my analysis I found these few points are based on the petal length or sepal length. What is that? Petal length. Petal length, based on the petal length data, this is what I'm finding. Jet score is higher for here. Can you please confirm whether we can consider this as an outlier or not?
Okay.
Okay, so that's why a DS is actually a person who can communicate from the top to bottom, right? Because they're doing so many things. So that's why from the back end to the analytics, business analyst, okay, stakeholders, managers, you're going to deal with everyone, because your analysis matters, right? Your analysis that, and you are also doing some advanced statistical data driven analysis here. So this is how you can take the views or feedback from the team, so that whether we can because here using only petal length you are concluding this, but their sepal length, sepal width, everything is there, right? So that's why do the univariate analysis on each column, okay, in each column, and try to find out same thing, whether the same indices you are getting every time you are going for any individual column or not. Are you getting what I'm saying here? Individual column analysis you do and try to find out same thing, the same index number. Okay, once you find similar index number for every column, you can, the surety that it will be outlier will be increased, isn't it? Same thing if we'll do with IQR, what will happen? Guys, see, Q1 I calculated, Q2 I calculated, then IQR I am doing Q3 minus Q1. Then upper range and lower range I'm defining, and I'm printing the up. Here can you see there is in the petal length no index is coming in this one, right? Why it is not coming?
Wow.
Yeah, so that means within that range it is coming actually. This is species wise data we plotted. If we'll plot not species, only the, so tell me, if I want to plot the box plot only for the petal length of my whole data, not on the base of species, what I need to change in here?
Just one argument in this box plot function, that will be the petal length column.
X petal length, this one, right? Okay, let's not change the code. Instead, we here you are seeing this one, right? Why we need or not?
No, why needed, only X is needed.
Let's see. See, that's why there is no point if we consider all the petal length value. That's why it is coming as none, because you can see, right? No points is outside this IQR range. This or this. Are you getting, guys? So this is how you need to do your analysis. But this is just a sample set we do. Once you do a real-time project, then that will be fun. If you will implement all this stuff. So many things, right, guys? You have to do the univariate. Suppose you have 21.
I can do species wise also, right? By like,
correct. Species wise, you can do the analysis. Then based on every column, you can do the analysis. In so many ways you are doing, because that's why they gave it the name as scientist, right? We're doing so many analysis, seeing the things from different angles, and then we are concluding something. Here Okay, any query here, outlier and all? Simple, right? Now, if you have the data set, you can do the outlier detection, right? Based on these three methods. Okay. There is another concept called meaningful data transformation. Okay, which is part of your that session curriculum. Meaningful data yeah.
We are seeing that a different kind of outliers to conclude the outliers. If we want to perform the or manipulate the outlier means all the methods have to return the same value, then only we will consider this as outliers, and we will do perform that outliers.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we have
correct,
to
correct.
consider the all the three methods have to give the same output, and then we will delete or whatever the process as per the domain expert says.
Correct.
Then only we will conclude that, right?
Correct. It will be a good practice if you follow the three procedures, so that you will make, because what we discussed, if, like at the end, we are at the back end, we are doing the same thing, right? Whether you go for visualization or calculate IQR, then NP where Z equal to, so same thing we are doing, right?
If the output if the output is differs means at that time what we have to do?
So if the output is differs, you have to check whether you did any mistakes in the three procedures or not. This is the first thing you need to do, because if that is the outlier, in every procedure you'll get that. It should not be differ in any one of the procedure.
Okay.
Because same thing we are doing in the box plot that you are plotting. This is what it is in the background of that box, that visualization code. It is calculating the Q1, it is calculating the Q3.
Yes.
Right? So it should not be different.
Okay, sir.
Great. Nice, guys. So there is a concept of data transformation, guys, meaningful data transformation. Now, why we need to do it? Okay, let me first explain you with a layman term. Suppose you have two columns in your data set. One is height of male, height of female, two columns. Okay, height of male is in centimeter, height of female is in meter. What is the problem here? Or is it there is no problem?
Units are different.
Units are different. That means in one column, even if a small unit means a larger value in the other column, isn't it? So if you consider, when you're trying to do a bivariate analysis with these two columns, will that be any impact in your analysis if meter and centimeter will be there? Right? Impact will be there, right? So this kind of situation, this is just one example I've given you, right? So that's why you need to transform your data before doing the analysis. Before doing your analysis, you have to transform the data. You need to make sure your units that you are analyzing should be in the same units for all the columns. If you are measuring distance, your distance should be either every distance column would be at in centimeter or meter or kilometer. But you can do one thing. Okay, let me first read it quickly. Meaningful data transformation involves altering the structure or representation of data in a way that improves its usefulness for analysis or modeling purposes. It aims to derive additional insights, enhance interpretability, or meet specific requirements of the analysis or modeling. Insights and interpretability. This is actually a skill. Okay, guys, this is a skill. Once you draw something, plot something, what is the useful information you are drawing? That is you need to develop inside yourself. That is no one is going to teach you how to look a picture. If 5% will look into the picture, they will get 5 different insights. Okay, so this insights and interpretability, you have to be properly explain what you are seeing, because that is also one part of, as a data scientist, you need to make people understand. whether they are takey or non-takey. Okay, so these transformations will help you to identify the pattern or insights out of it. If you don't do it correctly, then you might get different insights. Okay, so meaningful data transformations, so many things you can do. So consider you have in the x-axis, you have the income of people from poor to rich family. In the x-axis, the value like lower, like poor, very poor to like rich, very rich. If we'll plot their income in the x-axis, what will happen? So many values towards the left hand side, very small values, towards the right hand side, very large values. So in this case, if we'll try to plot something, the interpretation or the way of visualizing this plot will be different, because the units or the numbers values are different for different people. So I think we are discussing this part. Suppose in x-axis you have to 1 to 100 is here. Then after this 10 to the power 3, then 10 to the power 4, then 10 to the power 5, like this. The units will be different. So for this kind of data, the transformation you can use as logarithmic transformation. What is the benefit of taking logarithmic transformation here in this particular case? If you take logarithmic transformations, you are writing 10 to the power 5 here, right? That means what? 1, 2, 3, 5 zeros you have to write like this. But if you take log of this, what will happen? Log of 10 to the power 5 is 5. Okay, so logarithmic, if you forget this one, log base 10 and the value. Okay, that means log 10 to the power, suppose 3, base 10. If the base will be same, this will be 1, and this will come to us 3. So this log, so that means log 10 to the power 3 base 10 equal to 3. Okay, log 10 to the power 5 base 10 equal to 5. Okay, ln means what? When log base equal to e, this is called ln. Okay, so no worries. So here what you are getting here, that your larger number, if you take log of it, it is becoming smaller, isn't it? So taking log, if you have larger values in your x-axis or y-axis, will make your interpretation easier. That means the units that you are considering the larger values will be now smaller. Now you can easily see the graph, you can easily see the pattern, you can get easily the outcomes or insights out of this graph. Okay, taking logarithmic of, if you read this, what I have written here, taking logarithmic of data can be useful when dealing with variables that exhibit exponential growth or have a wide range of values. Exponential growth means what, guys? How the data looks like?
Time series.
Right. This is the exponential growth graph. Agree? That means your value is increasing rapidly with the increase of time or increased value. So if you have this kind of exponential kind of data, it is very useful to take the log, so that the interpretation of your graph will be easier. As I told you, right? A meter and centimeter. If I plot same thing in meter and same thing in centimeter, what will happen? The sizes and the units of the graphs will change, right? So better to make it in a small unit and then interpret it or then plot it. Okay, it will reduce the impact of extreme values, guys. Okay, as I told you, 10 to the power, suppose 100, 10 to the power 100. Can you imagine this number? Now this number, if we'll plot in x-axis, it will like, if we'll start from 1 and it will even if you reach 10 to the power 100, it will be like something like, so if we'll take log here, this number will become what? 100. Okay, guys. So that's why logarithmic transformation we take. Let me clear these things. What other transformation? Normalization. This we, so guys, these two things are we are already seeing, normalization and standardization. Why we do normalization, standardization? To make the value within one range, 0 to 1. Another thing is they are called binning. What is binning? Suppose you have some overlapping points. Okay, suppose here you have some overlapping points, very overlap with each other. It will be very difficult to interpret this one if it is overlapping. So if it is overlapping, instead of analyzing in this way, you consider this to this range is one bin. Okay, then you divided this as a bin, and with the bin, whatever points are there, you count this as inside that bin. You need not to consider each point, because if you consider each point, it's overlapping and it will be very difficult to interpret the data or the visualization part. So instead of that, if you have overlapping points, make them as one bin, and then bin wise you need to identify or you see the plot. So binning involves grouping continuous data into discrete bins or categories. It can help simplifying the analysis by reducing the complexity of continuous data and capturing non-linear relationship. Okay, that means if it is overlapping, you may not be able to see the pattern or the relationship the data is having with another. Okay, but making it a small bins, where else we have seen this bin concept, guys? We have seen this already.
Hexagonal plot.
Hexagonal plot. Also, while plotting the PDF, there is a bin concept. Okay, that means we are dividing this x-axis to multiple bins, and we are calculating the frequency based on this bins. How many points are inside this bin? How many points are inside this bin? Bin wise, you can also do the analysis. And also hexagonal point, hexagonal graph. There is another graph is called, I forgot the name. There also we are using the binning concept. Okay. Let's try to perform this in our, what is this one? Okay, this one I think is the comparison between log transformation in sepal length and non-log transformations. Let's see. Okay, what is this one? Okay, this is the sepal length with original data, and this is the sepal length with log scale data. But I think here we are not seeing any significant difference, isn't it?
Yeah, there is no much difference. Like we can see in the x-axis, the things, the points were changed.
Yeah, and why is it so? Because you can
Because
see
of
the x-axis it's like 0.1 to 10, right? And this is so log transformation we saw when we need to do when your data is following exponential growth, or as I said 10 to the power 5 or something like that. Okay, in that case log transformation will be helpful for you. But here it is 4.5's log is 1.5, 8's log is 2, so not much difference, right? But you can do with that kind of data which is following. Can you try to understand this code here? Just for take 1 minute, whether you are able to understand or not. Why I'm saying, because you can use this code for your data, not with iris data, because iris data is small one and log transformation is not helpful here. But Suppose you have some data where, wealth distribution in the society. Suppose you are doing one project where you are using the data of wealth distribution. So in that case, what you need to do, just change this iris data frame with your data frame, right? And see the difference. Can you see how I did the log transformation here? np.log function, everything there in Python. You need not to worry about it. You just understand, and you need to know where to call it. So I am creating another column here called sepal length log information, and I am storing np.log, calling np.log function, and I am passing this data. Okay, guys. And respectively, I am plotting two histograms using the original and using the after the log transformation. Okay. Let's do some guys, normalization. How to perform normalization? We have seen this or we have not seen this? If yes, where we have seen this? Okay, if you can recollect, I'll recap again. So pre-processing, scikit-learn pre-processing, import your min max scalar. So this min max scalar is nothing but what? Your normalization. Can you see here the name min max scalar? Actually, this one I was referring that time, normalization time. This is called min max scalar. That means what you need to do? The point minus x mean divided by x minus x mean. That's what it is doing. This library will help you to do that. You just need to create an object out of it, and from the object you can call the fit and transform method. And in this method, you pass the column information. It will what it will do? It will normalize your data. Okay, normalize your data. And to do the standardization, same library, but the function is standard scalar. Same method. You can create an object out of it, then you can fit and transform method. Here I'm doing it for so guys, tell me quickly how you can perform these actions in every column. Suppose here I have written for the one column. You can think, right? Or you can use this apply of data frame. Apply method actually very useful. That method will save, and so many times, like much time, like so many codes you can't get rid of writing so many codes. Instead of writing so many codes, you can use the apply method in the data frame to achieve the same result within fraction of seconds. Think about it. Okay, so this is how you can do what? Standardization. Beaning we have, yes, this one. See guys, here I performed beaning. Beaning means number of beans. I am using 5 beans. That means what? In the x-axis, what? I am dividing it into 5 beans. Here in pandas, we have a method called pd.cut. Cut means it will divide this data into the number of beans that you are giving, and this labels in the bean. So see here, what I'm doing, the sepal length, I am creating 5 beans. That means 5 category based on the length of based on the sepal length value. Very short, medium, long, very long. That means how many flower based on sepal length comes under very short category, medium. That means I am dividing into 5 parts. Suppose I will make short, medium, long. Then what changes I need to do? Okay, first let's see this
Since you have to make it to 3.
3, right? See. So this many points are in short category. This many points are in very short category. So this category, who decided? Us. We decided this one. based on our requirement. Suppose I will make it 3. So I will remove this part. So how this getting divided actually based on this 3 category? How is this getting divided? Because of this pd.cut, it is automatically dividing into the number of categories that you are mentioning in the code. Short, medium, and long. Okay. So this many 60, around 60 are from the short category, medium category, long category. So like this also you can do beaning and perform your tasks. Okay, so this is all about outlier, guys. I think you need some help with that project. I will explain. We have 4 minutes. So where is that project? I think this one you have got, right? Everyone got the project mail?
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Okay, now best of luck to you guys. Okay.
Thank you.
So okay, so I think I have some issues with my system. I'm not sure. This pages are not loading in my laptop. It is specific to my laptop only, I know. Why Grammarly is suddenly popping up?
And I was just like in between, like you're loading all this. I just need to offset, like, you know, with until this, we do have some kind of like 50 notch in this code, right? So
your voice is breaking for me. I'm not sure whether for me or for
yeah,
everyone.
I think even Zoom was also showing the same thing to me. Like my internet was not stable. So yeah, one question is like trying to ask, we have been in this course for around 2 months, right? So with this kind of knowledge, like, do we able to crack any interviews? Is it like what is your thought about it?
What I can say, if you are going for an interview, they will ask about the full courses content, not only this much.
Okay.
So if they will ask about EDA and the data analysis, you can now tell. But if they would tell what is random forest, what will do in that case?
Okay.
But better, you know, keep attending this. But I recommend after, you know, completing the machine learning algorithm sections, you go for the interviews.
Okay, because the problem is like my project was there, right? Like my project was bankrupted last week. So because of that, like I'm in a question mark now. Like what happened to my job?
No worries, no worries. You will get it. Okay, no worries. Can you anyone share and show me that project? It's not loading for me actually.
Yeah, let me.
I think someone also asked Rishikesh, right?
On 31st
yes.
itself, like my project is not going to be in my organization. So like
so those
already
who want to leave, you can leave. Okay, guys. I'm just
already 180 people has been fired within a week.
Because of what?
My project got bankrupted, like my client project, like not in Cognizant, like in the project which I'm working for, was like they have bankrupted for around $10 billion actually.
Okay, so better you start looking for new projects then.
Yeah, so they said that okay, you have a job opportunity and you have a job security and all those in a town hall meeting. But when I have checking the group people's names which all are represent in this, like all the people's names is gone, and then only I come to know that they were forcefully sending out the people's out of the organization. So
no worries. Once you complete this course, no, Dinesh, you will get to understand like there is too much demand in the market. Okay.
yeah.
Still, I'm not applying for almost 7 to 8 months, but still I'm getting calls and mails. So there is demand actually, and it depends on your choice. If you are open to everything to move to certain location, there is so many jobs for you.
Okay.
We have remote option also.
Remote option
we
also.
do have it. Now my question is like, now in my mindset was like I have a financial commitments and all those, like I don't know like what I'm going to do if my work was not there. Like I need to get into a new job,
No,
and
you
then I
need not
have
to
to
worry about that.
set for the
You need not
environment
to
and all
worry
this.
about that.
Internal, Dinesh, if there is a
Yeah,
critical
actually,
income.
yeah. I was actually trying for that. Like my manager, God's grace, my manager said that like, okay, fine, no worries. Like we gonna keep you, however, and then they are saying that new project is going to be get signed within 31st. If that happens, then I'm in a safe hands. Else, I'll just receive an email and then I have to submit my laptop. It seems.
You know what I can suggest for you, Dinesh. You try to be focused on this kind of projects and
Okay.
completing this course with at least one or two projects. Okay, and
Okay.
mention those projects in portfolio and immediately start applying.
Sure.
And one more thing, while doing while applying, you please
Mm-hmm.
don't think like I will have to get this job or not, because so many times you are going to be rejected. You need not to keep that in
True.
mind.
True.
Okay?
True. True.
But the point is you have to keep applying, because once you keep applying, one point will come where you will understand the flow and the questions will start repeating. Okay, and you will be full
Mm-hmm.
confident about that interview. That is your time. Okay, you will crack that.
Okay.
To full focus on these projects, maintaining your portfolio, then
Okay.
go for the interview.
Sure. 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 Like all of a
Okay.
sudden things were happening. Like they
Yeah,
got
that is
bankrupted.
a good thing, you did say good thing, because something happened for the good reason, right?
Yeah.
That
Maybe.
means you are going to get. So
But Dinesh,
guys,
like
this,
I
yeah.
suggest you try to move internally also in the same vertical what you're getting right now. The
Yeah. Yeah.
chances are high.
I'm trying to do it. Let's see what happens.
No, you have to see, like I tell you, first you go to LinkedIn and you search
Yeah.
for the people who are in that department, in the DS department, in your company who are there. Try to tag them like that. And again, parallelly, you try from your HR. That's how you need to do it. Just like by
Mm,
applying internally means no one will consider you.
sure. Sure. Sure.
What
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally get it. Let's see. Yeah. It's just like we can
So,
talk about this
guys,
project.
have you gone through this documentation? You have to go through this 2 or 3 times, then only will understand it. Okay, because I still, and also it is not loading for me. I need to open in a
Yeah.
mobile, it
I'm
seems to.
sharing my screen, Ashish, already.
Yes, yes. So tell me, have you guys gone through it thoroughly? What you need to do? So if you have gone through this, if you have not gone through this, I recommend you go through 2 or 3 times of it, or else you will get confused, or this is going to be a complex thing for you. So whoever, if you have gone through this, can you summarize what this documentation is telling you to do?
Actually, I have not gone through this document, but the project title have put it in the Google and AI. It tells that we have to collect the data from the YouTube. For that, we have to create the cloud login. In Google Cloud, have to create one login. After that, we have to create the new project. In that, we have used the Google Space for free for 5 GB up to the data we can store up to 5 GB. Some other features the Google Cloud gives us. In that, using that Google Cloud, we are using that YouTube API. Within the use of YouTube API, we can retrieve the data from the YouTube. After that, collecting the data from they have today morning only I have seen that with the use of YouTube API, we can able to download the contents from the YouTube, and then in Jupyter or Python, we are retrieving the data using codes. After that, we have to put the data into the MongoDB. After we have to finally we need to get the data from MongoDB in SQL. After that, we have to display the visualization using dashboard, or somewhat the name is shown. I have forgot that. This is the overall process, I think so.
Great. Nice. So this is what. So guys, instead of I provide you the codes and all, which I think the tech team told me not to give you. Okay, but what I can do, I can help you with. So whenever you get this kind of complex task, not only here, anywhere, try to break it into small tasks. Okay, that is the first thing you need to do. Go step by step. Small. So basically what you need to do, you need to collect. So you have to design one applications in Streamlit. How we design the application in DAS application, same thing, nothing more than that. Streamlit will be again, same thing. Okay, so first task, how to create a small application using Streamlit. This learning you do
Okay.
either through Google, either through ChatGPT, Bard, YouTube videos, every possible options you try. Once you are satisfied with that, how to develop an app with Streamlit. Next step, how to retrieve the YouTube data using YouTube API. Second thing, refer the videos, refer the codes, everything you do. First, you break this task like this, okay? How to develop with Streamlit, how to get the data from YouTube using YouTube API, because using YouTube API, you have to have one developer key that you have to generate it. Okay. Then using, I think, MongoDB Atlas. For MongoDB Atlas also one cloud server where MongoDB is installed. To interact with that also, you need one API from MongoDB, your account, MongoDB account. So these three things: Streamlit, see the videos, learn. Second, YouTube API, how YouTube API can been extracted, you and can run the code, learn that part. And third, MongoDB Atlas API, how to store the data using MongoDB Atlas API. These three learning you do before you jump into this project. My recommendation.
Sure. But
Okay.
MongoDB Atlas is a paid one, right? So do we get any trials for this?
No,
As a
MongoDB
free?
Atlas free versions are there.
Okay.
Like certain amount of data you can store using MongoDB Atlas. But if
Okay.
you are expanding your business and you want to store more data, then you have to pay.
Okay, so that MongoDB Atlas, like we have MongoDB in our system, right? So we have to upgrade it to Atlas.
No, not like that. Not like that. If that's what I'm doing. These three learnings you do externally.
Okay. Okay.
Initially, because then it will be
Sure.
smooth for you, or else it will, you'll like confuse what to do. This happened with the previous batches also. I also learned from them what to suggest to you. Okay, initially I was providing them the code and I told them to go through the code and learn, but that is not beneficial. Or they also get confused, what is this line, what is that line. If you'll do on your own, then it will be beneficial.
Okay, so first of all, we have to install Streamlit, and then we need to learn how to code and how to design
First
our
of all, you
application.
just go through the videos in YouTube or the blogs that you are referring, how to do it. If you are for the first timer, how to deal with Streamlit and how to deal with Google API or YouTube API. You learn that, then you implement by installing and writing code.
And one more thing, sir, that stream install PIP install stream means Streamlit means we can able to use this as like a dash plotly like the way.
Correct.
Is that
correct.
same?
Correct.
Okay. And UPI installer means we have to go to the cloud and then we have download the YouTube videos and then we have a
no. You need not to download the videos. You need not to download the videos. That means
using that code we can retrieve that.
Correct.
Using the code we can retrieve the videos and we have seen whatever the title, number of views, number of likes, like that we have retrieved that some kind of for if so means how many videos or how many channels we have to
so this is what this is what it is written in this documentation. How many videos you need to refer, how many tables you need to create, what is the table structure. That's why don't go right now, okay, or else you will get overburdened with this stuff. That's why first you tomorrow we'll discuss again. You go through this today. Tell me tomorrow what you found. Okay, whether you are.
Can you paste this link in the chat?
Okay, just a minute. You got
this one,
through
right?
Mail, right?
This
I
capstone.
got the same project. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, this capstone. If you go here, then we can see this whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, in capstone.
Where project doubt clarification is that?
And we have a deadline on the 5th of next month, I think.
Okay, and one more thing, guys. As you are starting initially, take your time and learn properly. And this through jQuery. Suppose you want some immediate, suggestions or clarification on any code or anything. Through jQuery, you raise the query, someone will reach to you on this project. Okay. Because apart
For
from
that,
this,
they will take 24 to 48 hours to reply, Ashish.
yes, but for me, actually, this is what was happening in the previous batches. They were trying to connect me through mail and LinkedIn, but I am also occupied with some other projects, right? So it is not possible for me to immediately respond to you guys also. But after this class, we can take few of the times and discuss these things. But before that, you have to go through this learning first.
Sir,
Please.
that MongoDB, for MongoDB, you told something. What is that? Do we have to install any other things apart from that what we have now?
No. Same, nothing, other than this, only Streamlit, okay, MongoDB and SQL. Also, so this is actually a very good project, complex one, but good project, including so many skills: SQL, MongoDB, API handling, okay, data extraction. So many things are there.
So we have to learn MongoDB. Like we know about MongoDB, but we have to know more about like Streamlit, MongoDB, and the APIs, and then
yes.
the SQL.
So that means using the bricks, you are now going to build something.
Okay, get it.
Okay, so
as you always say, with the brick, we have to construct a home.
So tomorrow I will show you the code, but today I want you guys to explore on your own. Okay,
sure.
One. I have the code, not the full code, but till MongoDB implementation, I have the code. Okay, we can go through that. We have this week, right? Today is Monday, right? Yeah, this 4 days we'll go through this project. Okay, no worries. I will try to help you as much as possible here.
Okay.
But please,
now, what we have to do? We have to,
as of now,
that Streamlit, we have to practice how to create the code and how to display in the dashboard. And after that, we have to do the API, YouTube API.
YouTube API, correct.
Yes, we have to get the details about that. After that, we have to do that MongoDB.
Atlas. How to use. So to be honest with you guys, do go for a video tutorial from YouTube. Lots of are there. Okay.
Yeah, actually today morning I have seen one that same project. Retrieve the content from the YouTube using YouTube API, and they are using a Python, and they are displaying using pandas. The data frame. That same is by sequentially, by coding, but everything they are doing sequentially. And once a particular project is there, what the way we look for, they are retrieving the data from the YouTube and to put it in MongoDB. After that, they are stored in SQL. They are display as a Streamlit.
Correct.
That same project they have did, but they are not given the code or somewhat that other details they have not given. They have just displayed
shown
what
you
we
how
have.
to.
Yes,
but that is fine. That is fine with you. As you are starting, maybe it is like you're thinking like so many things, but gradually take your time here, guys. What my suggestion: take your time to do this project. Don't be in a hurry to submit, or else you will miss the fun here.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so one more thing also, I will explain about the end product. At the end, what you are doing, you are developing one applications where user will interact with these applications. How user is going to interact? User will use your applications, provide a YouTube channel ID and search. How you are doing Google search, user will come and he will paste the YouTube channel ID in your application, and your application should return how many videos that particular channel contains, what is the number of likes of their particular videos, whatever number of comments in that particular videos. Okay, and you are storing this information in MongoDB. First, initially you have to store this information in MongoDB Atlas. They have given you the table structures as well in the documentation. Okay,
yes,
once you are
excuse me, they have that while giving the YouTube that code that what we have searched for ID that that gives us the dictionary type output. That in the, that's only the output we can see. How come we can get the how to translate the dictionary type output into the tables? And they have not shown that.
No, no, you didn't get that.
Yeah.
In MongoDB dictionary format, you are going to store the data. That is not a problem. This is how you need to store the data. Because in MongoDB, JSON and BSON format we taught, right? We discussed.
Yes, sir.
But that is not dictionary. That is in JSON format.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so you have, so that's why I'm saying this is the combination of whatever you have learned till now. This is the combination of all SQL, MongoDB, all the knowledge, all the learning that you did, you have to implement here.
Okay, sir. Okay, now we have just got the idea. We will do one by one as you told. Today we will go through that first three things. After that, one by one we will go. If we go for everything, means we will
Yeah,
get
correct. Yeah,
panic.
correct. Yeah, right. That also happened with the previous batches. That's why I'm, based on that experience, I'm sharing. So learn step by step. So eventually you will be, happier than going everything. So let's discuss tomorrow. Okay. You share your findings, what you did, then I will show you the code, how to do it. These three things you need to learn and you tell me, okay, tomorrow.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure. We will try.
Sir, my Dash application error is still there.
Oh, no. Okay. Uh, okay. I'm really sorry, this I totally forgot. Actually, this weekend I went for some vacation. Okay, it is out of my mind. Yesterday night
Oh,
only I
no
reached.
problem.
Okay. No worries. I tomorrow. Okay, I'll fix this today.
Yes, sir. I have
Sure.
shared the error. Like
Yeah, I saw that, but immediately I went for some outer station
okay.
immediately. So I totally
Okay.
didn't. Okay, no worries, Diksha. Tomorrow, because I am here
Okay.
today, so I will. Another question
Yeah.
from Silpa. Can I leave? Yeah, you can leave. Molly, hi Assis, I already completed this project in former batch. Again, they assigned to do.
Yeah, Ashish.
Why? So
I done
like.
my project in former batch and I got evaluation mark also.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So,
Again,
but
they assigned.
no risk. You can tell them that I already did that.
Okay.
That is not a problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I think guys, you got
Can we put
another
this project after we done the project?
Yeah, I forgot that part. After completing this project, you have to push the code to GitHub. That GitHub account you need to mention in your portfolio. You have to create a short video of yours explaining what you did in YouTube, and you have to publish this in your LinkedIn and other official sites if you want. That also you can do. That is also mandatory, I think, in this project to create a short video.
Otherwise, how our resume will get picked if they don't see all that?
Correct. No. Correct. So that is also you need to do. You have to showcase this through a video. No risk, no risk. We'll do it. So anything else, or we'll wind up?
Yeah, that's it, Ashish. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.